We have 770 acres on the property in total, and it's all arable. So we're cropping the whole lot of it, and we're cropping it in a rotation system. At any one time, half of the property is growing wheat. The new technology would revolve around minimum tillage, which we've moved into probably 6-7 years ago, and we moved into direct drilling as such. So we've evolved our own systems to suit our area. So we've moved back from direct drilling, perhaps into what's now known as minimum tillage. The biggest thing we've done as far as that goes is actually built our own drill. Yeah, that was quite a major breakthrough when we did that. The reason we built one is because, well over $100,000 at the time, and we built one for about 20. We have an AirTech nozzle spraying system. It's like a conventional sprayer, except that there's compressed air injected into the system. It gives you a more of a constant droplet size, which you can vary from very fine to coarse. It gives you the ability to reduce your water rates dramatically. We have a crop rotation worked out here for several years in advance, and at the moment we're working on a 4-year rotation. So we have any particular block is in wheat, and then a second wheat, and then usually a barley, and then it's in a break crop. A break crop are usually like peas or a brassica or maybe grass seed. The problem we did have was that we were getting a degradation in the soil structure, and that's why we've adapted to this minimum tillage systems that we've got, because basically we were thrashing the soil to bits.
How are the staff numbers and how do you look after them?
We have a manager, Terence, who looks after the day-to-day operations of the whole farm. One other full-time staff member, our son Scott.
We grow different varieties, and the reason for that is to spread the maturity dates out so that all the crop doesn't get harvested on the same day. And we'll change the sowing times as well. When we're now growing barley, we're growing winter barley to bring the harvest forward, to keep the harvester working longer with the more acres that we do. We're using grass seed now as well in the rotation, it goes behind the barley. The barley's off early so you can get a sterile seed bed earlier. Use some of the break crops as soil conditioners. Like your brassica crops have got a good root structure to recondition the soil. Well, the advantages in having the farm spread out are you can be harvesting and get rained out and move somewhere else. Also, some of the blocks are different soil types, so some can be dry after a shower of rain. So you can be working on one farm after a shower of rain before the next one. The nitrogen at the start of the season is estimated for the yield of the crop, and you can change that as the year progresses. Like this year, because of the drought, we dropped the nitrogen back because the yield wasn't going to be there, so the crop wasn't going to use it. And we split the application into 3, and this spreads the risk out from nitrogen leaching as well as losing it to the atmosphere.
We are sort of proving in a way that cropping is sustainable. It's never really been done in this district before to the extent that we're doing it now. There's always been cropping in this area, but it's always been combined with sheep farming. And when we made the decision 8 or 9 years ago to get rid of the last of our sheep, that was sort of a watershed time there, and really nobody else had gone to that extreme in this area before.
And how's the lifestyle? Do you enjoy living here?
Oh, I think we enjoy living here, yeah. It's pretty cruisy out here, and not a bad part of the world to live in. This is the pond that Matt was involved with not long before he had his accident, and him and Scott and Tal, they cleaned this pond out. It was all covered in willow trees, and they got a digger in here and cleaned it all out, and with a view to building this mai here and using it as a duck pond. And unfortunately he was killed before the mai was built. So it sort of became a memorial to him, and all his classmates and all the people that knew him contributed a lot of plants and shrubs and bushes and trees, and so it's a memorial to Matt.